Good morning students, me Miss Poonam this side. Today we will be continuing our chapter 2 with our kingdom fungi. In previous class we talked about the brief introduction about the fungi, and in today's class we will be having the different classification of fungi. So let's start our class for the day. First of all, we have these four types of fungi: Phycomycetes, Ascomycetes, Basidiomycetes, and the Deuteriomycetes. So these are the classifications based on the mode of reproduction and the presence of their mycelium. So now we will be discussing in detail each of the class. So here you can see division of kingdom fungi based on their morphology of mycelium and their mode of reproduction. So let's start with our first class. So our first class is Phycomycetes. Phycomycetes can either be parasitic or the saprophytic, and the mycelium is always aseptate and the multinucleated. As it is multinucleated, it is also called as the coinocytic, and the sexual reproduction is carried out by either planospores, means non-motile spores, or zoospores, means the motile spores. And if we talk about the sexual reproduction, it takes place by the fusion of gametes. If same gametes fuse, it is called isogamous. If different gametes fuse, it is called anisogamous. And if the one flagellated, that is small one, and another is the large one, when these two gametes fuse, that time it is called as oogamous. Most of the time, that is, male will be the small and the female will be the larger gamete over here that fuse in this type. Our next class is Ascomycetes, also called as sac fungi. It either be unicellular or the multicellular. Yeast is an example of unicellular, that is used in the beer and bread formation, and penicillium is an example of multicellular used in the antibiotic formation. Ascomycetes can either be parasitic or the saprophytic. These are also called as the caprophilous because they grow on the cow dung. The mycelium is either be aseptate or the septate. And mode of reproduction, asexual mode of reproduction takes place by spores formation, that is formed in the conidiospores exogenously, means they form out of the fruiting body that further develop into the mycelium. And the sexual mode of reproduction takes place by the ascospores that produced in the fruiting body, that is called ascocarp. And if we'll take the example, Neurospora crassa is example of the Ascomycetes that is used in the genetic and the biochemical work. This is very much essential in this field. So moving to the next one. So our third class is Basidiomycete. Mushroom is the one of the example of Basidiomycete, that is saprophytic. And if we'll talk about the parasitic, Puccinia is the parasitic form that cause wheat rust, and the ustilage cause the smut. And if we talk about the reproduction, sex organs are absent over here. So the sexual reproduction takes place by the somatic cells. Thus two different strains fuse together and lead to the plasmogamy, means fusion of protoplasm. Then karyogamy do not happen instantly because it remains in the dikaryon state, means two nucleus fuse together. Then after, as it get the favorable condition, it lead to the karyogamy, means what happened, two basidium divide into the basidiospores in the basidiocarp. Basidiocarp is the fruiting body of the Basidiomycetes. Our next class is Deuteriomycetes. These are called as imperfect fungi because in these only asexual mode of reproduction takes place by vegetative means, and the reproductions takes place by the asexual spores. These are called the conidia. Mycelium is usually septate and branched. These type of fungi either be saprophytic or the parasitic, and the example can be the Alternaria, that is also, and the Coletrochime and the Trichoderma. These are such examples that comes under the Deuteriomycetes. So this is all about the classes of fungi. So this is all about the kingdom fungi. Thank you so much for being with me and listening to me. and stay tuned for the next kingdom, Kingdom Plantae and Kingdom Animalia. And apart from that, the virus is left out. So see you in the next class. Thank you so much for being with me. Thanks a lot.